Hello, good evening. Hello.
Good evening, madam.
Okay, so now it is 7:30. I can see there are 7 students. Uh, what's your opinion? Will there be more students? Should we wait for some more minutes? How many students are in your batch? You have no idea. Is that so? Okay, anyhow, we'll wait for another 2-3 minutes. What is this message? Yeah, no idea. Okay, so now there are more students. Honey, we'll start. If other students join, they will join on the way. Okay, so there are 24 students. Honey, okay, so today you are going to start a new subject. Going to start in the sense going to study a new subject. Subject is called Sociology of Education. Tell me whether we have met early for other subjects.
No, ma'am.
No. Hi. Okay. So then this is the first time that we meet. I'm Dr. Anusha Tendakon. So my contact number, email, even my qualifications, they are there. The qualifications are there especially because you are paying and learning. So you have a right to know whether you are learning from a qualified person or not. Okay, so the lecture is conducted in online mode. So that is the trend nowadays. That is very convenient for everyone. But we have to make this online platform very useful. So there are certain small things we can do. The one is you have to respond. When I ask a question, you have to respond. And at the same time, when there is a problem, question, you can directly ask it. Hari, okay, wait. Here see the syllabus content. This is the syllabus provided by your institute. Okay, did you go through it? So there are two units according to this syllabus. Unit number 1, it contains many subtopics. Now, topic number 1 is introduction, 1.1 unit objectives, and then you can see in bold letters main subtopics: relationship between sociology and education, meaning and nature of educational sociology, sociology of education. So that is unit 1. See unit 2. Okay, so you might have studied unit 2 also. Here you can see introduction, unit objectives, education as a social subsystem, human rights education, education and the community with special reference to Indian society. I don't know why Indian society is there. Hari, okay. Are you clear with the syllabus?
Ye-
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Hari,
madam.
okay,
Yes,
very good.
ma'am.
Now there are 40 students. Okay, very good. Good number. Hari, now we'll start with the topic number 1. Okay, before I share it, you just see. So this is what we are going to do now. Yeah, let me share it. Okay, so here it is. So these are the areas which we are going to study through this presentation: education and sociology, introduction, unit objectives, relationship between sociology and education, scope of educational sociology, aims of educational sociology. Okay, just see the introduction. Okay, so you might have read it. We'll understand it. Education is a very important institution in any society, fundamental institution. And this education shapes individuals and contribute to social progress. So education is something very important in any society. Okay, that is education. Sociology, as the study of human society and social behavior, provides valuable insight into the social forces that influence education. So at the same time, you have some idea about sociology. It's about the study of human societies and behavior. Okay, so our subject topic is sociology of education. So in this title also there are two components. One is sociology, other one is education. So then here we are going to study the relationship between education and sociology. Okay. So these are the unit objectives. You just see. Okay, you might have read it. We'll see. So at the end of this unit, you will be able to define and explain the relationship between sociology and education. Okay, that is one target of this subject, this unit. Okay, that means you should be able to define and explain the relationship between sociology and education. At the same time, you all should be able to describe the scope and aims of educational sociology. At the same, yes, analyze the meaning and nature of educational sociology, including key theories. There are some key theories. And then you have to discuss the sociological aspect of education, such as social interactions in the classroom, teacher-student relationship, and the influence of peer groups. Okay, these things we are going to discuss through this unit. Okay, we'll see whether you can remember them. Okay, now we are coming to the major topic, relationship between sociology and education. Okay, just see what it is. Okay, so when you finish reading, let me know. Okay, a relationship between sociology and education. Sociology and education, they are deeply interconnected. So then education is not simply the process of transmitting knowledge and skill. That is how some people define education. But it is also a social institution. So other than that, education is also a part of society, social institution. And it reflects and reinforces societal values. Okay, through education, we are giving societal values, norms, and power structures. Sociological perspective help us understand how these social forces shape educational experiences, outcomes, and inequalities. We'll go to the next one. Okay, so here the relationship between sociology and education, that is what we started. The relationship between sociology and education is a two-way street, deeply intertwined and mutually influential. Okay, so this is the relationship is a two-way street. That means education helps sociology, sociology helps education. How sociology influences education? We'll see. One is understanding social factors. Sociology helps us understand the broader social context in which education operates. Right. Sociology help us understand the broader social context. Okay. Identifying social issues in education. Okay. Sociological research highlights critical issues like educational inequality. Okay. So then education is not equal to all. And there are inequality. There are some students who are handicapped, who are disabled. School violence and bullying. Okay, the social factors, this is highly available in urban schools actually. Teacher burnout, the social and emotional demands placed on educators. Teacher burnouts or burnout. Sorry, teacher burnout. Okay, informing educational policies. Sociological insights guide the development of policies aimed at improving equity, addressing social issues, and creating more inclusive and effective educational system. Okay, so educational policies are very important. So they guide the development of policies, and also it helps to create more inclusive and effective educational system. I will summarize those things. How education influences sociology. Just read. How education influences sociology. And as education is a primary institute for socializing individual. That means education socializes individuals, and education transmit cultural values, and education shape social norms. Sociologists study how this process occurs and its impact on society. Okay, that is what educational sociologists study. Still, we are with the introductory part. Social mobility. What is that? Okay, social mobility. Okay, social mobility. Mobility means moving. Education is often seen as pathway to social mobility. The society will go forward with education, allowing individuals to improve their socio-economic statuses. What is this message? Very good. Helps an individual to climb the social ladder. Chaturani is telling so. That's correct. So, yes, education helps us to go up in the society. Sociologists examine how effectively education fills this role and the barriers that hinder social mobility. Okay, let's see. Social change. Okay. Social change. Education can be catalyst for social change. Catalyst means one main feature of social change. It's a kind of stimulation for social change, challenging existing power structures and promoting new ideas and perspective. So then sociology study how education contributes to social movement and societal transformation. Okay, it is like this actually. Education helps society and society helps education. See here. Did you read it?
Yes,
We'll see. A sociologist might study how hidden curriculum reinforces gender stereotypes, influencing student career choices. Okay, so that is what sociology studies. That means how the hidden curriculum reinforces gender stereotypes, influencing students' career choices. So sometimes the curriculum will reinforces gender stereotypes. And second one is a researcher. Researcher might investigate how socio-economic disparities in neighborhood impact access to quality school and educational resources. Okay, that is what researcher is doing. That means how socio-economic disparities in neighborhood impact access to quality schools. If the students are in poverty, that means if they are living in slums, for an example. So it means actually, yeah. So then socio-economic disparities impact access to quality school and educational resources. Then an educator. So we were talking about sociologist, researcher, and then come the educator. Educator might use sociological principles to create a more inclusive classroom environment that values diversity and addresses the needs of all the students. Okay, here there is one suggestion. An educator might use sociological principles to create a more inclusive classroom environment. So that means rather at once going to teach students English grammar, so you have to make them familiar with the language and the book. By understanding the intricate relationship, intricate means very complex, relationship between sociology and education, we can work towards creating more qualitable, just and effective education systems that empower all individuals to reach their full potential. Yes, up to now, do you have questions? Yeah, let me give you a small question. Wait, I am searching for the questions. Actually, okay, we'll search for it. Hi, okay. This is what we discuss. If I revise you once again, meanwhile, I'll find the MCQ questions I had prepared. Let me check it. Hi, okay. Hi, okay. So this is what we discussed. If I remind you up to now, we had the introduction, and then we discussed unit objectives, relationship between sociology and education. We got to know it is an inseparable relationship. And then how sociology influence education, understanding social factors. Okay, we are living in a diverse culture, so So different cultural background will influence learning style, social change. How education influences sociology. So this is what we started. Social factors that influence access to education. Okay, so there is a huge blame on social media even today. And people say that the social medias will distract students from education. But here, several social factors can significantly influence access to education. Uh, Honey, okay, read. Are you still reading? Socio-economic status. Honey, socio-economic status, income. Lower income families may struggle to afford school supplies, transportation, or even the basic necessities that support learning, like nutritious food. Yeah. Okay, income directly affect social status, socioeconomic status. Lower income, if you are a family with lower income, uh, you may struggle to afford school supplies. And then parental education. Parental education, whether parents are with higher education level or not. So most probably an educated parents, they want their children also to put on the correct track. Correct. Access to resources, whether families can afford tutors, extracurricular activities, and educational travel, provide children with a significant advantage. So the student should be having access to resources. But here, whether families can afford tutors, extracurricular activities, and educational travel. So they are very important for education. Here we talk about socio-economic factors. Can you remember? The social factors that influence access to education. Number one is social economic factor. Number 2 is the role of education in social satisfaction and inequality. Yes, see. Yes, the role of education in social stratification and inequality. So now we are going to check the role of education in social stratification. What is that? Nothing can tell me. Anybody? Stratifications is something similar to social levels actually. There are different layers in society and inequality. So then the role of education in inequality, equal treatment. That means everybody will be treated equally. Inequality means opposite of that. Here, how education perpetuates inequality and equal access. Yes, see. I'm waiting until you read, okay? Okay, we'll understand. Correct. How education perpetuates inequality. Okay, we'll see how it happens. Socio-economic disparities often translate to unequal access to quality education. That's correct. That means everybody in this society, they do not have equal access to education. We can take plenty of examples for that. So according to modern education system, actually, those who are having money, they can give their children a very good education. But those who are very poor, they cannot even think about quality education. Children from low income families may attend underfunded school with fewer resources. Okay, so the poor children, they will go to remote school with minimum facilities. While those from affluent families, rich families, they have access to private schools, exclusive educational opportunities. Okay, that is nothing to explain. We can see it in our society. And then geographic location can also create disparity. So where the student is, the area. With rural areas, so marginalized communities often lacking adequate resources and qualified teachers. We know qualifications are there with the students in, sorry, not the qualifications, facilities are there with the students in urban areas. But when it goes to rural area, marginalized area, they have not uh, very good facilities. Sometimes they don't have any facility. So sometimes classes are conducted just under trees. But funniest thing is all these students are given the same paper finally. So we'll go to the next one. Okay, while reading, you try to understand. Okay, we'll understand tracking systems. That means systems where students are placed in different academic levels based on perceived ability can reinforce existing inequality. So that will support, reinforce means support, existing inequality. That means the students from poor families, they cannot go to high level academics. Students from disadvantaged background may be disproportionately placed in lower tracks, limiting their access to rigorous coursework and future opportunities. Okay, so the poor children, they may not get very good opportunities. Okay, they don't have access to coursework and they don't have future opportunities also. Right? What we are talking here is actually money plays a huge role in education. That is the basic thing. Hidden curriculum. Okay. Hidden curriculum. So, what is the meaning of hidden curriculum? The hidden curriculum refers to the implicit lesson taught in school, such as social norms and expectations. Okay, so then when we think about what is taught in school, there are some implicit uh, lessons which are taught in school. That means implicit means there are certain lessons which are not directly taught. Okay, such as social norms and expectations. There are certain social norms which are not directly taught in school. This can reinforce, this can support existing power structures and perpetuate stereotypes, disadvantaging students from marginalized groups. So then actually the lessons taught in school should not reinforce, should not support existing power structures. But unfortunately, there are some hidden curriculum which are not openly taught actually. Next one, how education can mitigate inequality. See, what's the meaning of mitigate? Mitigate means minimize. Okay, we'll see how education can minimize inequality. Social mobility. Education can serve as a pathway to social mobility, social upliftment, allowing individuals from disadvantaged background to improve their socioeconomic status. So that also happens, we know. So then one way that poor people can come out of poverty is actually education. So if they get the education well, they can reach the upper level of society. Access to quality education can provide opportunities for upward mobility and break the cycle of poverty. That's what we discuss. Social mobility can be uplifted because of education and these. Okay, here we'll see empowerment. Education empowers individuals with knowledge and skills, enabling them to participate more fully in society and advocate for social change. Okay, so education supports social change. So that's a very clear factor, I suppose. Okay, so education uh, strengthens individuals with knowledge and skills, enabling them to participate more fully in society. Education support, education encourage, education strengthen individuals with knowledge and skills. And then critical thinking and social awareness. Okay, so if education is good, it should foster critical thinking and social awareness. So, allowing individuals to challenge existing inequalities and advocate for more just society. Okay, so critical thinking should be promoted by a very good education. And also, as a result, social inequality should be there. Everybody should be treated equally. Important consideration, you just see. Okay. Important consideration, the role of education in social stratification is complex and varies depending on the specific context and educational system. While education has the potential to mitigate inequality, it's crucial to address the underlying social and economic factors that contribute to educational disparities. Okay, so that is almost like the summary of what we learn. Yeah, let me, one more is there. Okay, before we go to third one, we'll summarize this once again. Okay, reforming education system to ensure equal access, equality and equality education for all is essential for creating more just and equitable society. Okay, if we want to be the society to be equal, so we have to reform education system and we have to reform it in a way that it caters an equal access to education. And by understanding this complex relationship between education and social stratification, we can work towards creating education system that promotes social mobility. Okay, so before we go to topic number 3, we'll see what we studied. Okay, this is what we started. We are still with 1.1. So we are with relationship between sociology and education. Okay, what type of relationship is there between society and education, sociology and education? And that is what we discuss in detail. Then we discuss how sociology influences education. How education influences sociology. Okay. I will give you some questions next day. Hari, okay then. The impact of cultural and social capital on educational attainment. We just see cultural and social capital play significant role in shaping educational attainment. Okay, cultural capital. What does it mean? Okay, cultural capital. Okay, here the impact of cultural and social capital on educational attainment. So these things may be tough. I understand, but I am doing the topics, I am explaining the topic in the given syllabus because your question paper will be set on these topics. And cultural capital. Definition: cultural capital refers to the non-material advantages that the person acquire through their social and cultural upbringing. This includes knowledge, skills, habits, and attitudes that are valued within a culture or social group. Then, cultural capital, impact on education. Language and communication. Students from families with higher cultural capital are often more comfortable with the language and communication style used in school. And it's an advantage for them. Okay, so all the students are not having this facility, but the students from families with higher cultural capital are often more comfortable. Habits and attitudes. Habits and attitudes. Cultural capital can influence. So before that, tell me, do you have an idea about cultural capital here? Cultural capital refers to the non-material advantages that a person acquires through their social and cultural upbringing. So they are non-material advantages. So we were here. A cultural capital can influence a student's study habits, work ethic, and overall approach to learning. Students from families that value education and intellectual pursuits are more likely to develop these positive habits. Okay, that is the thing. That means students with from families which value education and intellectual pursuits, they are having very positive habits. Next. Okay. Knowledge of hidden curriculum. Cultural capital can help students navigate the hidden curriculum of school, which include the unspoken rules and expectations. Now you have an idea about cultural capital. I'm always showing it to you. Without that meaning, you cannot understand. That means uh, cultural capital refers to the non-material advantages that a person acquires through their social and cultural upbringing. Okay. Cultural capital can, that means the students from very high social background navigate the hidden curriculum of school. They can understand what is taught indirectly also. Students with higher cultural capital are often more aware of these norms and can better adapt to the school environment. Uh, Cultural capital. Next one is social capital. You just see. Okay. Social capital. What is that? Social capital refers to the network of relationship and connection that an individual has access to. So people live in society. So when we live in society, we have to keep connections with others. If we are having a positive network of relationship with others, it is called social capital. These relationships can provide valuable resources such as information, support, and opportunity. If you are having these relationships, it's something good actually, because you can have valuable resources such as information, support, and opportunities. Okay, impact of education. Access to resources. Students with strong social capital may have access to tutors, mentors, and other resources there. So that can support their academic success. That means students with upper classes, students with rich people, they have access to resources. Navigating the education system. So the social capital, it helps students navigate the complexities of the education system, such as applying to college or finding scholarship. Okay, that is clear, I suppose. Parental involvement. Parental involvement is also very, very important. Parents with strong social capital may be more involved in their children's education. Attending school events, volunteering, and advocating for their needs. Parents with strong social capital means rich people. How cultural and social capital interact. Cultural and social capital often interact and reinforce each other. For example, is here students from families with higher cultural capital may have better access to social network that can provide them with valuable educational opportunities. You can read it. Okay, I'm just oh, okay. Oh, yeah, okay. The relationship between education and social change, empowerment we discuss. I'm just trying to minimize it. Hari, okay? Hari, okay. So if you have doubts, any discussions, I'm ready to carry on. Searching for where we stop. Same thing is repeated. Hari, the relationship between education and social change. Okay. And education as a catalyst for social change. Empowerment. Education empowers individuals with knowledge, critical thinking skills, and the ability to question the status quo. This empowers them to challenge existing social norms, advocate for change, and participate actively in their communities. So, because of education, the individuals will start asking questions. Asking question is an ability. Okay? Education empowers, education enriches individuals with knowledge, critical thinking skills, and the ability to question the status quo. Sorry. Okay, next one. Okay, so this social mobility, that is something we already spoke. So I suppose you can understand that. So then education is a pathway for social mobility. So then it allows students, the people from disadvantaged backgrounds to come to the upper social status. Technological advancement, education fosters innovation and technological advancement during economic growth and societal progress. A social awareness and activism. Education can cultivate social awareness and sense of social responsibility in individuals. Okay, so then most of the people nowadays, they just ignore social responsibility. Okay. So social awareness and activism will give you a chance to fulfill these responsibilities. And next one, education as a product of social change. Okay, so then as a whole, education acts as a product of social change, reflecting social needs. Annie, okay, what is this message? Uh, can't find it. Honey, okay, wait, I will upload it. Yeah, I will upload it to the chat box. Give me time. Suppose I can upload. Yeah, it. Sociology in education. Okay, check whether you can get it downloaded. Is this the same thing? Yeah. Yes, I have already shared it with you. You can simply check whether it is, you can download it. Okay. Educational systems constantly evolve to reflect the changing needs and demands of society. For example, advancement in technology have led to the integration of digital learning and new educational technologies. This one example. Next, some more example. The civil rights movements in the United States was fueled by education, with activists using their knowledge and skill to mobilize public opinion and demand social change. And not only in America, even in Sri Lanka, actually. So, education has given opportunities for poor people to come up. The rise of the internet and digital technologies has revolutionized education, creating new opportunities for learning and collaboration. That also, I suppose, you can understand. Education plays a major role in promoting suitable development by fostering environmental awareness and encouraging innovative solutions to the environment challenges. That means involving in environmental protection activities. The relationship between education and social change is complex and multifaceted. When we study these things, we can understand how complex the interrelationship between education and social change. Education can both drive and be driven by social change. Access to quality education is crucial for ensuring that all individuals have the opportunity to participate in and contribute to social change. Informal structure, social norms and values, students, subcultures. Here, student subcultures. Within schools, different groups of students may from subcultures with shared interest, values, and behaviors. So these are the things which affect uh, social norms and values, student subcultures, teacher-student relationship. The relationship between teachers and students impact a lot on uh, learning environment, the quality of the relationship between teachers and students. So teachers and students are having a very good rapport, and that will affect the learning environment. Positive relationships, if the relationship between teacher and student is a positive one, it will foster trust, respect, and sense of community. And if it is not the correct one, the opposite will happen. The next one is peer interactions. And peer interactions, peer, between two. Interactions among students, both positive and negative, can shape the classroom environment and influence individuals' learning experiences. Peer interaction is something very, very important. Next one. Factors influencing social organization. See, factors influencing social organization. So they are school culture, social size and type. Under that, the size and the type of school, elementary, secondary, private, public, can influence its social organization. And then school culture, the overall culture of the school, including its values, traditions, expectations, shapes the social environment. And then community context, the broader social and cultural context in which the school is located can also influence its social organization. Implications for listening. Implications for learning. Implications for learning. The social organization of school and classroom can have a significant impact on students' learning. That means the society uh, or social organization of school, how school has been organized and classroom has been organized that affects students' learning. A positive and supportive environment can foster engagement. If the stress, yeah. So then, if the feedback is positive, or if the environment is positive and supportive, environment can foster engagement, motivation, and academic success. Okay, on the other hand, if the environment is negative, that will hinder means disturb learning. Understanding the social dynamics of schools and classroom is essential for creating effective and equitable learning environment for all students. Let me check how many, I want to start this next week also. I am touching these things next week also because there are many more. Okay. The social and cultural dimensions of teaching and learning. Okay, simply read. The social and cultural dimensions of teaching and learning. They encompass the complex interplay of social interaction, cultural values, and beliefs that shape the educational experience. See what they are. teacher-student relationship. The quality of this relationship, that means between teacher and student, significantly impact the learning process. Factors like trust, respect, empathy, and open communication fosters a positive learning environment. Peer interaction. So then teacher-student relationship is very important. At the same time, student-student relationship. So peer interactions, actual interactions among students, including cooperation, collaboration, and competition, influence learning outcome. Peer support and mentorship can enhance learning, while peer perceive and bullying can hinder it. So then some peer interactions are positive, but some are negative. And we know sometimes students bully a particular student, and at last it disturb the learning process. Okay, next one is classroom climate and social norms and expectations. Okay, classroom climate. That means the social and emotional atmosphere of the classroom. There are the factors like inclusivity, safety, and respect significantly impact students' engagement and learning. If the classroom environment is inclusive, safe, and respectable, that will affect students positively. Inclusivity means no student should be spared, all should be counted. And then social norms and expectations. Okay, see here the social norms and expectations regarding education, such as the value placed on academic achievement and the role of education in social mobility, influence students' motivation and aspiration. Okay, so then what the value has been put on academic achievement, the role of education in social mobility, and the influence students' motivation and in aspiration, so they affect a lot. Cultural dimension. Cultural dimensions, cultural values and belief, cultural values and beliefs about learning. So then in different cultures, there are different beliefs and values about learning, knowledge, and the role of education. Some cultures are very supportive. And at the same time, some cultures discourage education. Okay, so then one particular culture may encourage rote memorization. That means in Sinhala we call katapadan karanawa, learning by heart. At the same time, there may be another culture which give priority to critical thinking and problem solving. Okay, cultural dimensions. There are many more. What's the time now? Few. But I don't think we can complete it. But the remaining one we will continue. But tell me whether you were able to download the presentation or not. Were you able to get it downloaded?
Yes, madam.
Yes, okay. Please go through it. And then the next day, I will be touching them. And here, there are lots of information. Therefore, what you need to do is actually better go for a short note. Short note in the sense, better do a summary. Okay, that is the ideal one. You just imagine that is not our fault actually. That is how the syllabus contain the area. Let me give it to you. Yeah, wait. I will show it to you here. Here, you see. Unit number 1, you see how many topics are there. Okay, so 1.0, 1.1, 1.2, 1.2.1, 1.2.2. There are many more topics and very, very complicated. I do understand. So, better to go for a small summary. And summary will make your learning very comfortable. Okay, you better prepare that summary, and next week I will start from the same with the same lesson, and I will be giving you multiple choice questions on this. On the spot you can answer. Okay, then you will refresh your memory about what we did. Okay, so with this, shall we wind up the session for today?
Okay, madam. Sure, ma'am.
Okay, then good night and have a nice time.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Good night.
Okay, good
Thank you,
night.
madam. Thank you,
Okay,
ma'am.
okay, sure, good night.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay, you are most welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.